been incredible, first of all. So I got to start this thing off right, man. I gotta really start this thing off right. First of all, this is about flowers. I got a big old bouquet of flowers for you, bro. So right now I'm sitting here with a young man who may not need an introduction, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I've had the privilege of meeting him a few years ago. We had our program, our thanks to Baltimore Children and Youth Fund, we had our program at Maryville High School, and there was this brother who would show up consistently all the time. He wasn't loud and obnoxious. He was focused. He was intentional. He was there every time the doors was open, and he was ready to work, ready to learn, ready to get to it. And we've ran into kids like that before, so it was like, all right, cool. But then we started hearing what he was creating, and I was like, oh my God, hold up. Fellas, we got one. This brother different. He different. Man, and just to see what you were doing then, and to see that you stayed the course, and that you're doing what you're doing now. And now this brother just got a placement with Chris Brown, C Breezy, song called Sex So Good. Go stream it. It's available everywhere. The joint is crazy. I'm talking about none other than William Gaines, aka Willonnabeat. What's good with you, man?
That's crazy. Appreciate it.
Bro,
Appreciate it.
I don't even, bro, first of all, let me tell you, I'm super proud. I'm super proud.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Of your achievement, man, your success to this point. Obviously we know how the music game is. We know it don't come easy. It takes a lot of hard work, man. So just kind of like, I just want to know, man, first, how'd you get to this point? What you been up to, man? How did this Chris Brown opportunity come about, man?
Well, truthfully, after the program, obviously the program ends, after I graduate, and I think that was right before COVID. Yeah, it was right before COVID. So school was already out and whatnot. So didn't really have a choice but to keep, doing what I was doing. And before the program, I was already a little bit handy in Logic Pro, of course. Daniel and Yusha and all of them, they got me a little bit better in Logic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just started pretty much doing it on my own, and I think I pretty much found my lane. Of course, it was more trap or hip hop. In the program, I found my lane in R&B.
Yeah,
a little bit more. I think I decided to be a little bit more intentional with what I created, and that's where I kind of found my lane. So I just kept cooking up and also putting myself out there.
Yeah.
Creating content on Instagram is definitely a must. Reel, like utilizing reels was a must for me.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how I caught the attention of a super producer and by the name of Troy Taylor. And so I caught his attention, and he kind of like took me under his wing, taught me some things, put me onto some things that I didn't know about as well. And through that, he was able to present the opportunity of getting on that album with Chris Brown.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how that happened. It just came from just posting and just having the right eyes.
Yeah. Bro, that's dope, man. And I need to give Troy Taylor his flowers, because if anybody doesn't know who Troy Taylor is, I don't know where you've been. You must have been under a rock the past 20, 30 years. I say it's safe to say he's a legend in this game. And he's accomplished so much musically. But I think the thing that makes him special to me is what he's done as far as giving back and paying it forward as far as mentoring young creatives such as yourself and the Trey Songz and everybody that's come through. TTU. So big ups to him, because it's important to think about giving back and bringing the next ones up, man. So, and he does it with a good spirit, and
Oh
I
yeah.
really appreciate that about him, man. So that's dope, man.
Yeah.
As far as the actual, first of all, the song got all the vibes. It's got all the
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Breezy, Chris Brown is Chris Brown, right? But
Hmm.
the vibe of it, man, like it's just got all the elements, man. Talk a little bit about your sound for a second. Like what inspires it? And what's some of your major influences that really, shapes your approach?
Oh yeah. I think my sound is pretty much created just through feel,
Mm-hmm.
what it makes you feel. I make a lot of music that'll probably make you either think about your girl, or
Mm-hmm.
if you don't got a girl, to make you think about your ex.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Or go find the one.
right, exactly. Go find
Mm-hmm.
something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just created through feel. So my sound right now is pretty much just I would say just a modern twist on early 2000s and the 90s. That's
Yeah,
where I am right now. I'm
that's
focusing
dope.
on harnessing modern drums or modern melodies
Mm-hmm.
with early 2K and 90s feel as well. And that's pretty
Yeah.
much what I did on that placement.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so that is that. Um what was the other question you asked? I'm sorry.
Nah, that's pretty much,
Yeah.
and that's kind of like what some of the influence, what's
Oh
some of the
yeah. So
influences that shape your approach.
influences. Yeah. So my favorite producer right now is D Mile all the way. I love D
Mm-hmm.
Mile. That's my
Mm-hmm.
favorite producer. He I love the work that he did with Victoria Monet.
Yeah.
Um and that's pretty much my favorite producer right now. I like Brian Michael Cox as well.
Yes, sir.
Um and I do like London on the Track as well. Somebody I paid attention even before
Mm-hmm.
I got into R&B, but I love how he can just flip the switch between trap and then
Yeah. Yeah.
R&B.
He
Just
cold.
yeah, so
It's funny. It's funny you say B Cops, because when I met you and I saw your approach with how you were voicing chords, that's the first thing that came to mind for me, was like you gave me that young B Cox. You had those R&B colors, which was crazy. And I remember distinctly one time asking you, like, bro, like, do you play in church? And you were like, yeah. And I'm like, that's truly special. And it speaks to the foundation. Brian Michael Cox, same foundation. So many great creatives come out of church. Talk a little bit about, what how the church environment has shaped, your musical approach.
well, yeah, I mean, it's that's part of where like the feel from R&B comes from. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's those chords that when you're playing in church, uh you want people to turn around and look at you like, okay,
Yeah,
what the
like,
hell
ooh.
going on? Like, yes, I mean, of course, you bring that same energy, so it's just all about feel. I can't stress it enough. I mean, you don't have to know all of the chords and how to play in all of your keys, or even pretty much know what you're doing. If you have the feel, that's something
Mhm.
Troy told me. He said if you have the feel, then you don't you don't need to be amazing at your instrument or at
Right,
whatever you do. It's all
right.
about feel.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. That's
it's
what's
just the
up,
feel.
brother. That's what's up, man. Let's go back though. Let's go back. Tell me what some of the things you remember about your experience in Beyond the Natural's music program.
All right. So do remember. I do remember. First off, Daniel. I think it's Daniel Grantham
Yeah.
or
Mm-hmm.
whatever his name is.
Yeah. And he
That
still
was
he
that was
still teaches with us.
cool. So that was my dog for sure. He would teach me little things and like Logic. I don't use Logic anymore. I use FL Studio,
Okay.
but he would teach me those little things in Logic. Just like using the automation, um, and just all those little things that would pretty much knock me up above where I was at first, so everybody else was doing. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, I do a little something that he taught me, and then he turns around like, "What the heck?" And
Yeah.
I remember you should too, man. I mean, like you should like he would come and just start freestyling over whatever beat he
Mm-hmm.
heard,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking like this man is cool. Like what's
Yeah.
going on? Like
Yeah. And shout outs to
so,
Yusha. That's my dog. He's still doing his thing. He's been involved with our program over the years from a mentoring and teaching perspective. Yeah, man, with great care. Shout out to his whole movement, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. And pretty much, I observed how um even when we were in the process of cooking up, he was kind of wording things to what we were creating with the melody, and that's pretty much part of my approach now. Like, I mean, I also aspire to be a songwriter as well, but
Mm-hmm.
it's if when I'm cooking up, I mean, I won't continue if I can't write my own beat, or if I can't
Mm-hmm.
get a melody to my own beat. I'll just put it up and go on to the next. Because
Yeah,
if I can't do it, I mean,
the
I wouldn't really
likelihood.
expect somebody else to either.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of just not only hearing what you make from your own perspective, but
Mm-hmm.
hearing it from others as well, if possible.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, man. What I'm curious, what would today's Will, right, say to the young Will that was coming up that abandoned stairwell into that abandoned classroom and coming in there every day? The Will now at this stage in your life, what advice would you give the young Will in the after school music program?
Well, yeah, I mean that young Will was worried about what other people were thinking a little bit, even though I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
vocal about it. I mean, you come up, I mean, and you see some of my friends passing by looking at you crazy, making the beats and, making the loud noises and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would just tell that, well, I mean, what you see now is not what's in store for you. So
Mm-hmm.
I would tell him not to worry about that. I mean, I would
Yeah.
tell him to continue to put himself out there as much
Yeah.
as you can, because people are looking. The right people are looking always.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
what's
would
up,
tell him.
man. I think it's really powerful that, you know, I'm having a full circle moment, and I'm pretty sure most people, if not all people that know you and have seen you be creative over the years, they have this experience as well. The type of focus that you had in your approach to creating and being even involved with our program, even like you knew, all right, I don't know what the future, like, I don't know exactly what it's going to look like for this dude, but he is going to be just like a cut above. He's going to be exceptional, and he's going to experience great success because of his approach. It's one thing when somebody can just show up and do something one time. That don't really take a whole lot. But when somebody can show up consistently and continue to show up, be present, and deliver learning and growing, and that constant cycle of that, like, that speaks volumes. Could you talk
Oh
a
yeah.
little bit about the grind aspect that
Oh yeah.
you've been on, and so young kids in our program can understand the level of work that it takes.
Oh yeah. I mean, just the example of one placement I got with Chris Brown, that all the beats that I cooked before that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first got in contact with Troy Taylor, um, of course he has this TTU University,
Mm-hmm.
and all that other stuff. But we would cook up every night. Me and that's another thing. Always, I would say, get another producer or songwriter who you can make your stuff with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of go mano a mano or hit for hit. Somebody who can sharpen you,
Yeah.
say yes or even no,
Mm-hmm.
to what you got going on. So I mean, me and Chris, I mean, we were cooking up every night, and we had this centum by now over maybe 70 beats.
70.
Over 70 beats that we've
Not
sent to
five,
Troy.
not
No,
five, 70.
so yeah, we were cooking up at least a beat a night, and this is, and now I have responsibilities still. I still have to go to work. I still have to do this and whatnot. But I think just always that discipline part is always finding time, even when you don't feel like it,
Mm-hmm.
even when you're not inspired. You got to cook something. So I mean, it took at that time 30, 40 beats later before we got that placement.
Yeah.
So, and those beats weren't regular beats. I'm not, don't mean to toot my own horn, but
Yeah, yeah,
those
yeah.
were those were bangers. Those were bangers. We only sent Troy bang. Um, the ones we didn't feel were good enough, we didn't even send some. So these are
Right.
30 bangers before that beat was chosen, and the way it happened
Mm-hmm.
was pretty much one of his songwriters had saw us posted. We posted the beat to Sex So Good before anybody knew about the placement. Me, Troy,
Mm-hmm.
anybody. So a songwriter by the name of Upstairs, he wrote to it first, and then he
Mm-hmm.
posted it on his page. Got about 1,000, 2,000 likes. Says, "Who do you hear on it?" Everybody in the comments says Chris Brown. So Troy sends it to Chris. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it just happens from posting. It just
That's
happens from posting.
powerful, man.
It just
A
happens.
great example of the time period that we live in with social media and how you can just leverage the platform, right? To get yourself out there, get your stuff heard. Um, and dude, that's incredible, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible, man. Oh man, so what's next, man? I'm pretty sure like, things are starting to shift in a different direction, a more, yeah, a greater trajectory for you, more
Mm.
opportunities and whatnot. What are you looking forward to now? What's some things that you're working on? Things
Yeah.
of that nature.
So definitely still working with Troy, and of course the placement opens more opportunities to people who are like Troy, who
Right.
are executive producers and
Mm-hmm.
advisors as well. So I'm just it opened more doors up to like having more avenues to send my music through.
Right.
Whether it be a songwriter for Hitmaker, or
Mm-hmm.
so it just opens up more doors. So I think I'm just continuing to cook, and I'm also dipping into Afrobeat. I'm a piano as well,
Yeah.
um, which is really hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely as a producer, if I'm hearing any young producers out there, if you want a placement, you need to tap in with songwriters. You need to
Yes.
tap in with songwriters. Artists like Chris Brown, yeah, of course he writes some of his own stuff, but he has songwriters as well,
Mm-hmm.
who pitch those references to him.
Right.
So songwriters are almost just as important as artists,
Yeah.
in that aspect. So
Yes,
songwriters for
sir.
sure, pitching my beats to songwriters has been my approach to it, and I have some more big opportunities coming up as well.
Yeah. I'm sure, bro.
So,
I'm sure, man. Man, you got any shout outs you want to give or anything like that? Like, you know, thank yous, whatever. This is your time.
yeah.
This is your time.
Well, thank you. First off,
Oh man, blessings,
thank you.
bro.
First off, yeah, that BTN program, it kind of it lit a flame up
Hmm.
into me. Of course, I was already using Logic, but it was kind of like maybe once a month type of thing.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, you go into the BTN program after school, and you see all this nice equipment. It makes you want to cook up, the
Right.
nice computers and the speakers and the booth that they built
Yeah.
inside. They built a booth,
Bro, we go
like,
all out, bro. We go all out.
so they built a booth in the kind of so it makes you want to cook up when you have the nice stuff. Obviously, all you need is a computer, MIDI, and a
Mhm.
interface as well.
Right.
But yeah, I just want to thank you for providing that, because I mean, I probably wouldn't have done this just on a little phone or an iPad. I mean,
Yeah,
you need the right stuff. So I just thank you
for
for
sure.
putting the right stuff in place. Um, and yeah, the thank you goes to you.
Oh man, bro, and I could just send it right back to you, man, because you took advantage of the resource, man. And I just got one final question, man. Is there a future where we see Will in the performance space as the artist, stepping from behind the keys and doing this thing? Because we got a glimpse of that and Motivated by the Music. If y'all don't
All
know,
right, all right.
if y'all don't know, we got a glimpse. Now there's something
Goodness
there.
gracious, here
I'm
we
just
go.
saying. I'm just
Oh my
saying, man.
god.
Is there a possibility where we can see that version of Will manifest in the future?
Uh, Absolutely not. I mean, absolutely not. I do like staying behind the scenes with it. I do. There is a future where you will see me as a songwriter though.
Mhm.
That's something I want to step into. As far as an artist, I like staying behind the scenes and being the
Yeah,
reason why, you know.
yeah. That's what's up. All I got to tell you is, you just never know.
Just never know, right?
You just never know, man. You just never know.
I know, right?
Because here's the thing too with that. When it comes to writing, sometimes your demo of you'll have to demo records
Yeah.
at times, and sometimes your demo is going to become so signature to what an artist or someone, people who hear it,
Uh-huh.
identify as, yo, that is it almost. So
Yeah.
it could be where, okay, an artist will be like, yeah, I'll come in and do this part, but I need to keep that.
Right, right, right.
Next thing you know, there's your first feature.
I
You know,
know.
I'm just saying, it just happens, man. It just happens, man. And I know so many producers who that was never the intent. That's my
I
whole
know.
point. It
Yeah.
was never the intent. And journey and creativity and God's divine plan. That's what matters most, man. But
Yeah.
dude, bro, I just had to get this time with you, man. First of all, gotta encourage you, man. Keep going. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Don't stop. Don't look to the right. Don't look to the left. Just stay focused on everything that God has set before you, man. Don't doubt yourself. Everything that you walking into, just understand that you were put here for it. You're equipped for it.
Yes, sir.
And it's all a part of the God's purpose and ultimate plan for your life, man. So just move forward in that confidence, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Um, everything, and understand everything that you're doing. Um,
Mm.
it'll be even musically and outside of music, you opening it up doors for those coming behind you. So, you know, you did it for everything you're doing it for your family, you're doing it for Baltimore, you're doing it for everybody. It's just a bigger thing. It's so many people that are not just impacted, but it's a inspiration thing. You know what I mean? And it
Yeah.
just gives people
Right.
hope, man. So, and you've given me a battery in my back. I'm like, yo,
Yeah, yeah,
Will,
yeah.
Will did it, and he's continuing to do it, man. And it just gives me encouragement to keep doing what I'm doing. And as far as our vision with Beyond the Natural, man, it's going up, up, up. So
Oh yeah.
just and it just put this on your radar. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when, because we got a lot going on right now, but there may be a master class or something in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It might be some
What I'm
type
talking
of
about.
clinic or something. We might need we might need Willonnabeat to come through and show the kids how the big boys do it. I'm just saying, just want to put that
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Listen, I'm one call away.
saying? That's what's up,
Sounds
bro.
dope. Sounds dope.
That's what's up, man. So we're gonna stay tapped in with you, man. We're gonna keep watching, we're gonna keep cheering, we're gonna keep pushing. If you got
For
anything,
sure.
man, you ever want to promote, feel free to hit me up, man. Our platform is your platform. And we're gonna keep it pushing. I definitely want to thank too, you know, the only reason why I was able to provide that EV resource at Maryville was because, we got that funding from Baltimore Children and Youth Fund, who still supports us to this day. So I want to give them their flowers because they are making a difference in ways that they may not be aware of, and that's why I wanted to get this interview as well, because they need to see, like, okay, this was, what year did you graduate, Mervo?
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
So maybe 2019 was when we was in the lab
Oh
doing the
yeah.
after school program. And
Yeah.
here we are, we
2019.
in 2024, but look at this fruit now. You know what I mean? And it's just, you just never know how things going to turn out, but just to see how a low investment goes a long way. You know what I mean? And we just want to keep those things going. So teamwork making the dream work here, man. We cheering for you. We pushing
Yes,
me.
sir.
Keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing, man.
Likewise.
I'm proud
Likewise.
of you, man, and I'm pretty sure your family's proud as well, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna keep rocking this joint, just like my
Right,
new
right.
theme song right now. You know what I'm saying? When I'm feeling some type of way, it's
Yes,
Friday
sir.
night. You know what I'm saying? Get cleaned up. Throw Sex So Good on. It's on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's going
Yep.
on. I'm telling you, you inspiring brothers. I'm telling you, bro. So,
Thank
man,
you.
I just want, man, salute to you, man. Hats off to you, man. Keep
I
doing your thing.
appreciate that. Bless up. Thank you.
That's what's up, man. I'll get up with you later, man. Take care.
All right.
All
Take
right,
care.
peace.